The girth of his what?
You're like a father to me.
Hey! And go.
What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI. This is Brewstew Public School in the 90s, Part DOS. Part 2. First of all, if you want to support my channel further, patreon.com/FWCI is where you can do it. And if you want to support Brewstew, it's patreon.com/Brewstew. Give the man some love. The Public School in the 90s, Part 2. In the last one, he talked about the pencil sharpener. He talked about the cloakroom, which is one thing I don't really relate to. And he talked about the self-test scoring. But I know there's way more meat on the bone on the topic of public school in the 90s. I mean, shit, I've shared... The thing is, I've shared so many stories, but I have a really, really good memory for certain thto so I could easily dip back in there and remember some crazy shit. I think I've told the story where I dacked my mate. You know when you pants somebody? Where we used to call it dacking. I dacked him, and I got in trouble for it, and my excuse for that was that I tripped over and I just grabbed whatever I could, which just happened to be my mate's shorts. I was like, whoops, can't help that. And I remember as I was saying that to the teacher, as I was saying it out loud, it was like the first time in my life where I was like, oh, this sounds like absolute horse shit. Even I wouldn't believe this. I was probably like 8, 9. We had the classic kid run into a branch, running around, hit a branch like that and went into his eye and fucked him up pretty bad. I remember all these names as well, but I feel like I shouldn't just like name random strangers from my past. I remember the basketball hoop in the Gawler East Primary School gym that was attached to the wall, which was great because you could like run, take like a step off the wall and like propel yourself upwards and dunk it. As a primary school student, that was fucking God mode right there. But let's jump in. This is Brewstew Public School Holidays. Let's try that again. This is Brewstew Public School in the 90s. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Alright, public school in the 90s, part 2. Ah, come on, another booty episode on school? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you shut your hole, I don't care. I like this topic, and I'm gonna do another one. Now, if you haven't seen my first episode, I talked about all the weird stuff that happened in school in the 90s. And today, I'd like to offer up some more things that I thought about, and I'm just gonna get right down to it. First things first.
School textbooks.
Now, I'm not even sure if textbooks are even in classrooms anymore. Pretty sure kids these days just fuck off on Chromebooks and iPads all day long. But back in my day, you had your own set of school books that you had to take care of personally. You had to put, like, book covers on your shit, Animaniacs or Goose Book theme ones. But if you're poor like I was, well, your ass got to origami a goddamn paper bag over your shit like it was the goddamn Great Depression. Label it with a fucking Sharpie so you know what book you have. Not to mention these things were big as hell. You'd have a giant social studies book that was so solid you could probably hold up a liquor store with it. By the end of the school year, we'd all have like Mark McGuire forearms and shit. You guys want to hit some dingers and talk about Squanto and the Pilgrims and shit? But the one good thing about having actual textbooks is that sometimes you'd find graffiti in there left behind from kids of the past.
Or
Somebody would fucking draw a Fu Manchu on James Madison. Maybe a poorly drawn wiener on Ben Franklin's forehead and shit. To help break up the monotony of the school day, all right? Bring back the textbooks. Hashtag fuck week 4.
Alright, textbooks. I guess we had textbooks. They were pretty boring, basic shit though, but what do we got here? Science? I don't think that was this science textbook. Horton Mifflin Social Studies Communities? That's an intense cover. And McDougal Little Math Course 1 with a cool skateboarder on the fucking cover. There you go, kids. You like skateboarding, don't you?
Forearms. All right, next up, we're going to talk about
Kid cops.
You guys remember back in the day when your teacher would leave the classroom and she'd just like randomly deputize a kid? Out of nowhere, she'd just be like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here for 5 minutes. You guys are stressing me out. I'm gonna go hit a port out in the parking lot. Billy, you stand at the chalkboard, and if anybody talks, write their name down, and I'll crack their ass when I get back. Now, you would think that this would not work.
Yeah, we used to get this shit as well. It makes me wonder, did they secretly throughout the year give every child an opportunity to do this just in case, like, well, 24 of the kids behaved perfectly normal and then one of them became a fucking tyrant like the Sanford prison experiments. Stanford, the ones where they put all those college fraternity dudes into a prison and said, you're in charge, you're not, let's see what happens. It's fucked.
work at all. I mean, we were all children after all. We're all on the same team. Fuck that teacher. But as soon as any child got the smallest piece of authority, they'd be like, fucking, all right, everybody shut the hell up. This is a police state now. I'm the new sheriff in town. I don't want to hear shit. Piss off, Travis. You're on the board. Stop talking. What? I just fucking coughed. 10 minutes later, the teacher comes back. There's like 14 kids' names on the board and shit. Well, looks like I'm cracking everybody's ass today. Good job, Billy. Looks like that brainwashing 101 class I took in college really paid off. Kid Cops. What a time to be alive. Should be a goddamn series on Fox.
On the next episode of Kid Cops, little Philip lets out half a fart. He gets his name on the board, and he gets a written penalty. Kid Cops. Your discretion is advised.
All right, next up, what do we got?
Sounds average.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The goddamn overhead projector.
Now, look, there's not a single
Yep, the overhead projector. Very archaic technology when you think about it. It's like, I guess, what do they do now? Do they just all have fancy whiteboards that, like, wind around and shit? Or just big, giant, fuck-off touchscreens or something like that? But if I'm being honest, I fucking hated the projector. I haven't put any thought about it since I left school. But yeah, projectors suck.
Object in my school that I had more disdain for than that piece of shit
There you
overhead
go.
projector. I hate that damn thing. If I could,
It's
I'd totally
confusing.
office space the shit out of one in an open field. And you know why? Because I was blind as shit as a kid. That's
Oh.
why. And every time we used this overhead projector, I swear it'd be like the day after our teacher moved all our seats around, and I'd be sitting way in the back, practically in the fucking hallway and shit. I'd look up and everything would look like a blurry mishmash of bullshit to me. The teacher would be up there like, the hypotenuse of the fourth derivative is the variable of the coefficient. See, math's a lot easier when you can see, right? And you're not like a fucking blind piece of shit in the back. Math is easy. Math is fun. And I'd just be sitting there like, yeah, looks like I'm fucking done learning math now. Guess I'm just gonna have to smoke crack and live under a bridge when I grow up. That's pretty neat. Yeah, piss off, overhead projector. I don't gotta deal with your shit anymore.
Yeah, you know what, I agree with that. I didn't find out until I was like 30 that I was, I don't know, was it nearsighted, short-sighted? Basically, when I try and read things that are very far away, I really struggle with it. If something's in front of me, like everything that I do on the computer, then my eyes are fine. But if I'm trying to read stuff that's in the distance, it gets blurry. I can still see everything in the distance perfectly fine. It's just like the finer details kind of thing. Makes me wonder how long have my eyes been deteriorating like that? Because I think that was the first time I'd ever gotten my eyes checked, was when I was like 30 years old.
Hashtag fuck the blurry machine.
And I got given glasses.
Let's do one more topic, and then what do you say? We can all get on with our fucking lives. Sound good? And this topic, of
Let's
course,
go.
is going to be...
Lights checks.
Now, this little event would occur quite frequently throughout...
Frequently? What the fuck? This must be an America thing. I don't remember ever being checked for head lice. I don't know, did we? I don't remember being checked for. I think it was just a thing of like, the parents were like expected to manage that kind of thing, I suppose. I remember hearing the word nits thrown around when I was a kid. Oh, he's got nits, he does. But I don't know if that means somebody actually had head lice. I don't think I've ever known somebody that had actual, like, contagious head lice before.
All of a sudden, your teacher would be like, all right, everybody, we're going to go down to the nurse's office, and we're going to see who's the dirtiest kid in class. Sound fun? So we'd all just line up and prepare to be inspected. Everybody's paranoid as hell. All of a sudden, your head is 1,000% itchier all of a sudden. Now, it's worth noting that back then, I would put copious amounts of hair gel in my hair. I'm talking gobs and gobs of that fucking blue LA Looks bullshit.
I remember that era. I lived in the hair gel era.
Every morning I'd have armadillo hair. It'd be hard as hell, practically bulletproof. But by mid-afternoon, all of that hair gel would get all white and flaky. And if you look closely, that shit kind of looked like I had head lice, I'm not gonna lie. So every time I went to see the nurse, she'd be like, holy shit, it's the mother load! Burn it! Burn it with fire! And I'd have to be like, calm down, lady, it's just the LA Looks. Put that fucking flamethrower down, you're scaring me. But regardless, we'd all head back to class. And no matter what, there was always at least one kid missing. I don't know what they did with that kid. Put his ass in quarantine somewhere, who the fuck knows? But our teacher would always try to play it off like nothing even happened. All right, everybody, let's turn to page 47 in our big-ass social studies book. Yes, Brian? Where's Billy at? Billy? Who's Billy? I don't think I know a Billy. He's got head lice, huh? Was he the dirty one? No, he's not dirty, okay? The nurse said that lice actually prefer nice and clean hair. He's not dirty. Yeah, he's fucking dirty, all right. But hey, head lice checks were just the thing that we had to deal with, all right? At least it was better than the fucking weird-ass scoliosis checks that we had to do in gym class, where we had to get all weird and take our shirts off. Remember that?
What?
Hashtag fuck that weird shit, I can tell you that right now. So once again, those are just some
Nah,
of the
never
things
heard
that I
that
had to
one.
deal with in 90s public school. And if you like this one, well, I'll probably make another one, because guess what? I still haven't even talked about the goddamn Pizza Hut Book It program. I totally forgot about it. Shit. Free personal pan pizzas? What the fuck? So if you're sitting there pissed off that I'm probably gonna do another public school in the 90s part 3, well, what can I say? You're not my dad, and you can't tell me what to do.
I love
The
it.
end.
Let's go.
Brewstew.
Hang on, is that Brewstew's dad at the end there? Is that who that is?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, what are you up to?
Just recording. I just have a quick question. When I was a kid in school, was head lice ever a thing?
Where's what lice?
Head lice.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, really?
The thing was worms, and all the kids had to have conbantrin.
What?
Yeah. Kids got worms, and their bum would get scratching at night time. I'd go and have a look, and you could see them. They'd be out at night time. They come out your bum hole, and you could see like little.
Don't say me. You're not talking about me. I didn't have fucking worms.
Yeah, that's because you had conbantrin. Do you remember conbantrin? It was in a piece of chocolate. You snapped it off as like a piece of chocolate.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you didn't tell me there was anything different about this piece of chocolate. You just gave it to me and said, hey, have this chocolate. And I was like, thanks.
It's like those gummy bears you can get for the kids to sort of all sorts of things. Yeah, have a lolly. And it's got other shit in it as well.
Alright, so according to my mum, my sister got head lice. I'm gonna cut it out, but she went into quite a bit of detail about the person that gave her the head lice. So I'm cutting that out. I don't want to reignite any 30-year-old flame wars. And apparently, I used to get secretly fed worm. Oh, is that a thing? Is part 3 of this going to be like, alright, so one day I got to school and this kid had worms. He wasn't getting secretly fed chocolate by his parents. It is hilarious the shit that you find out was secretly going on when you were a child. I think of all the things that Tyler talked about in this video, the overhead projector was definitely the bane of my existence. Maybe not just because I could barely read it. I do remember it always being blurry and out of focus. I just thought that's what projectors look like. But have you ever tried to like set it up? I think I had to try and set it up a few times, and it's a fucking pain in the ass trying to get everything. It's all like mirrors and stuff. Like, I just remember those things being an absolute pain in the backside. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Go to patreon.com/FWCI for me. Go to patreon.com/Brewstew for the man. And before you go to bed tonight, thank Chuck Norris that we don't have to deal with rear projectors anymore. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.